Woza. This is Talking Sundowns. Umjaka, your editor here at SoccerBeat, hanging out with Ngwenya and Kermit Erasmus. I might be excited in my greeting, but was not the type of match to be excited about. 0-0 against Ahly. That's Mamelodi Sundowns. First leg, Champions League semi-finals. Going to Cairo. 75,000 fans confirmed will fill up that stadium to welcome Mamelodi Sundowns. So a lot of work still needs to be done. 0-0, good or not. For me, Mshege, it seems like Cardoso could have just one page back, could have just looked at Sundowns' record against Ahly and against Egyptian teams and just seen, there's no reason to be scared because Ahly know the business when they come to Sundowns.
Yeah, Umjaka, it was a disappointing performance in all aspects today. We failed to have rhythm, up front to create much. More like the Esperance game, when we played at home. When teams have that low block, we seem to struggle to break them down, and it was the same thing today. And a lot of players had an off day today, your players that we normally depend on, the likes of your Ribeiro, not at his A game today. The likes of your Ngwenya as well. A lot of players just not at their A game today. I think the only positive for me was Mishi coming on, and you can see the intensity that he brings into the game. You can see the urgency that he brings into the game. You can see he wants to play. He's looking for the ball all the time, But yeah, unfortunately today, the boys really didn't give much, I felt like they were too passive, too slow. They looked like, it's just disappointing. But I guess Ahly didn't score here at home, so we still have a chance, because we seem to play a bit better when we're playing away from home, when there's more spaces to play. We're a bit better at home. We struggle against the North Africans.
Kermit, Romza, I think I'm hearing from Shege saying the boys were not switched on. That tells me two things. That makes me ask two questions. Whether the message from the coach was the right message, was the right attitude, telling the guys, this is Ahly. We beat them at home. We beat these guys. That for me, that was the message from the comments from Sundowns fans. They always would bring up the 5-2. We score goals against Ahly here. So that should have been the message. But now the guys did the opposite, which tells me either they heard the coach, but they're doing their own thing. Which one was it, Romza?
Well, it could also be that Ahly came well prepared today, and I think the result is the effect of the performance they had. I mean, they played with a low block, and they've obviously picked up in their analysts that Sundowns struggle against teams that play with a low block. I mean, if you see in the first half the amount of shots from range, even throughout the game, the amount of shots from distance that was taken from Ngwenya, from Ribeiro, and it was not really on target shots. So it was a difficult game for them to break down Ahly, because they defended really well. I mean, they weren't worried about having possession. If you at some point in the first half, they had like 215 passes to Ahly 65. So they were willing to suffer today, and that's what they came for, just to keep a clean sheet and hopefully go back and turn it around with the support they have there. So they knew that it was for them to lose, because they prepared for playing on the counter against Sundowns, and there was moments that they almost scored the Sundowns, and even in the offside goal, there was a scare there. In the first half, they hit the post with a short cross to the striker that hit the post, and that was, I think, the only real scare, if you want to call it, that was onside. But other than that, it's not a great result for Sundowns. Obviously, you would have loved for them to score today and go away with at least a goal and a win with that advantage. But it's all to play for in the second leg.
Sundowns' chance to score. I thought you were going to complain. I expected you to immediately go to RRS. Sundowns' best chances to score, or the highest scoring games, have been with the RRS. Kermit, you called for it on the show. You said, don't break 100%. Them apart. Don't break them apart. And what did Cardoso do? He broke them apart. Your best chance of scoring is having those three guys on the pitch, but we never had those guys on the pitch at the same time.
He went with Matthews today, on the left, and I think with the speed he has and what he would give you up for in the space behind what he thought he would have. And I think Al Ahly didn't give you that today. They played with a low block, and you needed the RRS to harass and to make sure that they never rest. I think Reyna's bring a different dimension to the attack, and without the ball as well, he's posed so much threat in terms of trying to intercept as high up the field as possible to try and have one pass to the goal and get an opportunity to finish it off. So with Matthews is a little bit different because he's more technical than Reynolds is. But like I said, man, I always say that this RRS is the best front three they have, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it.
She's back now as well, Shege. You could hear from the cheers of the fans, there's excitement. He was on the ball a lot. Guys had so many months to stake their claim and make it difficult for him to come back in.
Yeah, no. Shishi's irreplaceable, Umjaka. Got a lot of qualities,
100%.
irreplaceable, and he brings a different dimension. Nobody has that. So many games, you felt you missed a player like Shishi on the field, because he can always get something. When there's nothing happening, he can always create something. I think Ribeiro sometimes runs out of ideas. In certain games, especially now that they know what he can pose, the danger that he can pose, and they plan against him. So it becomes a bit difficult for him, and he wants to do too much. So a player like him, Shishi, can create a lot, and it's so impressive that in his first game after being out for so long, you can already see what he brings into the team. So he's somebody I won't be afraid if I'm the coach to put him in that starting lineup in Egypt.
How would you like to win a little something extra just for joining the best in the game? For a limited time, we are teaming up with Betway and giving all of you access to a SoccerBeat exclusive. If you join Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, now in March, you'll get 25 Rand extra bet. That's right. It's time to get way more out of every bet. Standard T's and C's apply.
Jala, just to add on to that, we played earlier this week, like I said, in the friend against Sundowns, and she played most of the game, and he looked sharp as always. I was happy and to see him back, and like for somebody of his caliber to be back and to be as hungry as he is, just shows you the passion and the desire he has to want more and to achieve more with the team. And I think it's a great time for Sundowns to have him back from injury because what better time than this? He's somebody who thrives on the pressure that the Champions League brings, and I'm hoping that he can help the team get over the line.
Cardoso doesn't really know how to coach a team with Themba Zwane in it. What happens now in these few days, Romza? What does Cardoso do? Because he obviously had his own ideas, and they didn't include Mshish. But now
Sure.
Mshish is back.
For
What
sure.
happens now in these few days?
I think from what he experienced today with the game and the fans demanding to have him on the field, kind of give him an understanding what he means to the club. Sometimes coaches also got to understand the impact and the presence a player brings, besides the ability that he holds himself to be able to do things and change games and to influence, the team to win and stuff. It's just the presence a certain player brings. She is Mamelodi Sundowns, and people demanded that. The fans demanded because they know what he can bring and they know what he possesses. He's been not carrying Sundowns, but he's been a key player for Sundowns over the past 5-6 years, consistently so. So I think it was a good thing for the coach to see that, and hopefully in the next coming days he can also bring Shishi a bit closer to him and get to understand, the type of person he is, because he just want to play football, man. It's not about anything besides that, and he works hard for his opportunity, and it showed today. The hunger that he showed in the few minutes he got, and the presence he brought when he came on, it uplifted the fans also, so that just shows you the important player he is, not only for the team but for the club as well.
Manje clean ke Mshege. We're going away. Clearly RRS is not first choice. What happens now on this away game? Because a goal is going to be needed to put pressure on the home team, and a goal is going to be needed to win to win and progress to the final.
Yeah, it's a situation, Umjaka, where I'd really like to see the RRS because, in a game like that, you're gonna have spaces behind, and we know that that's Reina's strength. You know, the runs he makes. You know, that move the defenders away, and then Shalulile can at least be able to hold the ball up. You know, and be able to be one on one. You know, the space that Reina's creates for Shalulile. Even today, I thought when Reina's came on, I thought maybe he should have kept Shalulile on, because with that pairing, you know, that's when you see the danger. But when there's one and the other is not there, you don't really see that danger that they pose together, you know. So I thought he would leave Shalulile on when he put Reyners on. But yeah, hopefully Reyners can get a run in Egypt, you know. I think he possesses the most danger playing away from home because of the runs he makes, the spaces he creates up front, you know, and yeah.
Kimatata fela on an away game to throw. Kimatata fela, Romza, to throw all out attack on an away game in Cairo, packed with everything that's going on. Kimatata fela, you're asking for trouble, but it's gotta be done.
Yeah, it has to be done. I mean, now he has Reyners, Yasu, with or without the ball, and that's what we need. We need players that can harass defenders and be brave in a hostile environment, and it's gonna be hostile. You know, laser, beam laser, what, all these things, noise. You saw how they were delaying the game. Players were falling. Yes, okay, they got injured in certain moments when they challenged for the ball, and then they would delay. The goalkeeper also, they delay those moments because they know that's what frustrates us as South Africans. They just wanted the 0-0, hoping to get a goal, like I said. So they're happy with this result, but they mustn't for once think that this result is going to make them win the second leg, because they got something coming for them.
You guys have got to be part of this conversation. Subscribe, get us to 50,000 subscribers. Join this conversation with Sundowns fans. Also join us on Betway. Hit the link in the description and bio. Use our code SoccerBeat. You get $25 extra bet to use to back your opinion anytime, any day. Gentlemen, now we get to the predictions. Ufunani Gemshege, what do you want to happen in this away game? 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. What do you want to happen, and what do you expect?
No, I expect us to go out there and try and win the game, Umjaka. We have to score. I mean, to win, we have to score away from home. We couldn't score at home. I think, up front, as much as it's going to be very hostile in Egypt and they're going to come at us, you know, but it's going to give us a chance also to take our chances. You know, it's going to give us, we're going to get the chances to score, and we just have to take those chances. If we score first, they're under pressure. I think the best thing for us is to get a goal, and that will put them under pressure, you know, to score, and then they open up more at the back, and yeah, hopefully we score another one. So my prediction is 2-1 to Sundowns away.
Yo, you guys have got to get in on this action. Hit the link, use the SoccerBeat code, get $25 extra, and challenge Mshege. Mshege says 2-1 to Sundowns in that second leg. Romza, how do you see it working out? And what do you do? Do you go Kamho and RRS, or what do you do?
RRS, we sit a little bit to see how they play, how they coming. They're obviously gonna come guns blazing, and we know we can get an early goal in that hostile environment. You know, Sundowns, I hit you where you least expect. But for me, I wouldn't predict a specific score, but any draw that has a score line, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, we're going through, because away goal counts. So me, I'm predicting that for a draw score line.
Aye! Okay, Romza. We'll take that prediction. It's very safe, like Cardoso. You're going safe like Cardoso. You can challenge these guys. You can challenge these guys. Use that link in the description and use the SoccerBeat code. And of course, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. Romza said he'll hit up some of his hip hop mates to join Cheese. And when they drop a verse, maybe there's going to be a SoccerBeat song. Who knows? All because of you, if you get to that 50,000 subscribers. You want to see it happen? Hit that subscribe button. Thank you, Shege. Thank you, Romza. Unlucky. Unlucky today. Unlucky to the Yellow Nation family. We'll see in the second leg, and hopefully the result will be positive.
Sure.